Hello everybody, Всем привет. Today we're going to work on the hero, let's see here. This is the hero screen where currently we can exit, but there's really there's no hover text. We are able to swap creatures. We are able to look at the level and experience level, but nothing else works. So none of these tooltips work. If we build a mage guild, we buy a spell book, get some spells in it. We can click on the spell book and bring this up, but there's no. I guess we get some info bar updates here for this, but we really don't get the hover text that we should get here. If we click on there, we do get the kingdom summary. So this is kind of the current state of the that's the current state of game development, I guess, right now. I'm just going to quickly show you what the actual game does correctly here. So we can go to the kingdom screen there, but see we have view attack skill, view defense skill, spell power, knowledge. We can see our morale, neutral, luck, experience, and if you're right here, there's a little additional hero characteristics in some chunks of this thing. Hero screen is kind of the default language, and the artifact slots are empty. Dismiss Lord Kilburn the Knight. Exit hero screen. These are the kinds of things that we get. We did get the we did get this stuff working. If we dismiss these guys, we're no longer able to dismiss our last creature, and we get some tooltips as well. So this tells us how our morale is doing, how our luck is doing, what our experience level is, and if we, let's say we buy a spellbook. So it shows us view spells there. If we right click on that, our tooltip tells us about the magic book. And then the spell book, this was working fine. So this is what we're going to try and build today, is just fix all those tooltips and the hover text on the hero screen. So that's what I'm saying. I want to add tooltips and hover text to the hero screen. There's a number of clickable areas. The text bar is similar to the location of the info bar at the bottom of battle screen. If you don't know where to locate it, copy that location. The layouts in this hero wind.bin, maybe you can decode the XY offsets a little, but don't spend too much time because we have a roughly correct layout already. I've tried to do this approach a couple times with dropping in the window dialog layouts, which are these binary files. And sometimes it works great, and other times it burns like half my session tokens and doesn't get anywhere. So I've now kind of just said, hey, maybe you can find it. If not, don't worry about it. We have something roughly correct, and I can go back in later and really try and spend some time decoding those. But currently, it's kind of expensive for tokens, and it's not really working and useful. So I'm just kind of relaxing on that approach. Anyway, I mostly want to add hover text and tooltip boxes. So I'm using this dialog utils. This is basically for dialog boxes. That's a file I created. And like you saw with my experience box here, close this down. We can. So this is the box I'm talking about, this purple box. That's my dialog utils box. So also interestingly, this is going in the center of the viewport, not in the center of the screen. What if we go in here? Here, oh, it's interesting. That's a little off center too. Interesting. So we'll close that out, and we've already defined one for the experience box. That's what I just showed you. This is the right mouse button experience badge detection. And it basically just calls this hero screen experience badge function, and then that's or this detects it, and then that, and when this is hit, then it displays that screen. Then I give it a whole bunch of the tooltips and the text and the info bar text for the hover. So I've got the defense skill, I've got spell power, I've got knowledge, morale. I display, I think I just have bad morale and neutral morale and good morale. And then I also add in these current morale modifiers, which I am tracking per hero. And I'm vaguely remembering the graveyard and shipwreck visited. I have to do the graveyard and shipwreck events at some point. You know, the battles and what the results are of the battles and what your morale, how that affects your morale. It's kind of lower priority because usually graveyards and shipwrecks are, I kind of view them as a waste of time in playing the game. Like, yeah, you might get some gold or an artifact, but like, ghosts are super dangerous, and the morale hit and all that other stuff. It just isn't, in my opinion, it just isn't worth it. I'd rather be attacking an enemy hero and moving faster and reducing the number of days in the campaign. So then I added in the different artifact codes and actually the hex codes of those artifacts to scan for the scan for what it does if it's in your possession. And I think the Fizbin of Misfortune, I think somebody did a mod to make this to actually reduce your luck. I mean, it's called Misfortune, but it lowers your morale. So it's just kind of funny, I guess. I don't remember, is the tax lien, which costs you 250 gold a day, is that in the first heroes or is that only in the second heroes? I can't remember. I think it's only in the second heroes. But that's also a nice negative artifact to pass on to an enemy hero. Anyway, the tooltip title is for luck. I gave it luck level luck. I think it gives me normal luck instead of neutral luck. So I need to figure out where that is in the code, but I specified neutral luck, I think. But anyway, there's some luck modifiers. If you got the rabbit's foot, the horseshoe, the lucky coin, or the four-leaf clover, all four of those artifacts increase your luck. You visited a fountain or a fairy ring. Those are the things that I can remember. There might be something else that'll affect your luck too, but excuse me. And then on the top 3 pixels and bottom 3 pixels of the 6th box of the hero screen, there's like an additional hero characteristics info bar text that hovers. If you hover over the hero crest, you get kingdom summary. If you're over the hero image, it just gives you hero screen. If you're over a creature, it says select creature name. Info bar text when you're over the spell book is view spells. Left clicking on an artifact gives you the short title of the artifact, and below that about 16 pixels, the right mouse button tooltip text of the artifact. I do have a bug where left clicking on the spell book also gives you this short title of the artifact, and that's not correct. It's really so I have a bug here with the spell book that I'm going to need to fix. And when hovering the mouse over an artifact, the info bar displays the info bar text for that artifact while hovering over it. I put some of that into this artifact info tables.csv. Let me pull that up real fast here. It's CSVs and artifact info table. So I made a table here of some of the values. And then I also added a transferable on defeat to prevent the spellbook and the ultimate artifacts from being transferable on defeat. But everything else gets picked up by the opposite, or like the opposite, the um, the hero that defeats the victorious hero takes these artifacts up to the limit of what they can carry. So I filled in some of these values as to what it does. I just did a new game and just started going through and collecting this data. I have to sit down and do this for all of these. And I also need to get the story text when you pick up an artifact unencumbered. You know, sometimes you get the rogues, sometimes you get the leprechaun that tries to sell it to you for 2,000 or 2,500 gold or something. But if you don't, there's usually like some flavor text, and I've been saving those, just screenshots of those, but it's actually kind of a wall of text, and I've got to sit down and create that. And that's one of the next things I'm going to do actually is make it so you can actually pick up artifacts, and then you need to be able to see all of this tool text in the hero screen. But I wanted to just create a structure for it for now with some of these artifacts, and then I'll fill it in later. So that's what we're doing there. And then I just want to add tooltips using the dialog utils hover text for the areas described in this prompt. So it gives me an attempt, and then it's trying to find some of the heroes info, and I needed to drop in the map cpp map.h. That's where it's done. So now it has everything. So I do kind of watch these messages from the AI, and it's like looking for adventure map event names and morale flags and troop move, which is, I don't actually think that's where I have that info. I do have in troop move, it does state the morale of a creature, but that's like its base morale. And it's going to be affected by the hero. But anyway, it picks up the flags that I'm tracking for the hero where I visit. You know, I've tracked, like, did you visit the angel statue? Did you visit a buoy? Did you visit, you know, other morale boosting elements? I probably need to add the tavern in town. It just occurred to me now I should add that as well. But yeah, it's then computing the army faction morale based on the troops in your army. Like if they're all the same faction, you get a +1 bonus. If they're from 3 different factions, you get a -1 bonus. If you have some undead in your army, which I guess technically would be a ghost, you have a lower morale. Let's see, right mouse button on expiry block and replace it with hover. Yep, so it's just going through doing all this, adding the hero tooltips. I guess it's creating this HS zone, which covers all the different rectangles. Even this additional hero characteristics that I specified. And so it gives me this new hero screen tooltip, H and C++ file, a new hero screen, and a new game main. And then let's see what that build actually looked like. So this is the first build we got back. So already we're seeing hero screen a lot of places. We're seeing view spells here, kingdom summary, select centaur, gargoyle, dragon, paladin, phoenix, view experience info, view normal luck info, view low morale info, knowledge, spell power, and then we start clicking. Okay, it's off center, so that's not ideal. This is tracking our morale. There's something weird going on with, I think, a new line. There's like a new line character there, and it's highlighting it instead with a white box on the F of freeze in combat. normal luck, neutral luck. Maybe I didn't fill that text out completely. I don't remember. Experience looks good. You know, these are still working, that we can still see creatures, still dismiss them, that kind of stuff. Then the artifacts, it should stay empty. And there's nothing over exit. And this is also overlaying a black box, which we don't necessarily want. If we leave the castle, let's just check the dismiss button. That's also not hovering, or that's not correct. So we need to get rid of that black box. We need to fix the artifact empty. We need to center this text, and we need to fix a little bit with neutral luck here. So, you know, not bad for, you know, that did pretty good for our first shot. So let's try and center the text in each info box. That's easy. The exit button, let's have the hover text exit hero screen. For the dismiss button, let's have the hover text dismiss hero name, the hero class. This is the same name and title as in the title bar. The empty artifact slots should have the hover text empty. There are 14 artifact slots on the bottom 2 rows, so hopefully we can figure out how to handle those boxes. I'm not giving it very much instruction, but it, you know, I'm hoping it's smart enough to figure that out, and if it's not, we'll correct it further. And then we don't need the fallback box for the hover text at the bottom of the screen. The background is included in the hero screen BMP image. So we can just display it on the background. We don't need the fallback box that obscures the background image. That's fine as is. So centers the tooltip text, makes notes of our exit, dismiss, hover text. Empty artifact slots give us empty, and the info bar draws text only. We remove that dark rect with the gold border. So it gives us these. I got a missing hide dismiss variable, which was which just got dropped somewhere. So if you noticed, when my hero was in the castle, you can't dismiss a hero that's in the castle. They have to leave the castle for the dismiss button to show up. So this signature that was passing this hide dismiss variable just got dropped. It was commented out. And so anyway, it's very close. Let's have a look at what the next build did. So I have this saved as hero tooltips almost. So we're gonna see a few bugs. So view spells. So now it's showing empty, and then it goes to hero screen. Hero screen flashes when you move between these. Maybe it's like 1 pixel wide. This text is now centered. That's good. This looks a little better, but we're still getting that weird new line break in the, and we're still getting the neutral luck thing. And we're not getting this exit over there. Although look at the bottom bar, the info bar does look better. The kingdom survey is working, or kingdom summary is working. So we made some improvements. Let's just quickly go out here and check dismiss. See what's dismiss Troy and the sorceress. So the dismiss hero text is working. Exit, I think, is being covered by the artifacts. So I think the artifacts aren't being spaced properly. So let's have a look at what I said here. Very close. The exit screen hover is covered by the empty artifact slots. The empty slots are the same size as the artifact images themselves, 64 by 64 pixels. I'm guessing there's about an 8 pixel border between them. There's 7 per row. See if you can use that to improve the hover hitbox for the artifacts, and also make it not cover the exit button hover box. The hitbox works fine, because we are able to click exit and exit that screen. So that tells us the hitbox works fine. Morale and luck modifiers seem to be working, but the new line characters are not recognized by the font, so it's better to break up the multi-line strings in, well, okay, that's not clear English. Strings in, I guess I meant inside, to multiple text strings and wrap them manually. Neutral luck, the definition needs to be updated. Neutral luck means your armies will never get lucky or unlucky attacks on the enemy. So goes through, fixes the artifact hitboxes and the exit dismiss. Split all the /new line strings into separate pushback lines. Seems like it's working. Gives me some missing. It dropped some braces, I guess. So it gives me this new hero screen tooltip. And let's see what we had there. So let's look at Dimitri the Knight. So dismiss, because we entered it from outside the castle. Dismiss Dimitri the Knight. Exit hero screen is working. It looks like we've got a bunch of these. The level 1 normal luck, this is now breaking these down correctly. Current morale modifiers, knight bonus +1, troops of 3 plus alignments -1. This is looking good. Dismiss some of those guys. Modify. No, that's fine. If we look at it from inside the castle, it's looking okay. Let's buy a spellbook quick and just see what happens there. See, there's the bug. When I click on that, when I hold that down, it shows the magic book as well. That's a bug, because it's not supposed to do that it's supposed to do this for the magic book when you right click. It's not supposed to do that. So it's almost working. We're pretty close. And I think that's pretty much it for this session.